welcome to our second episode of the Chairsofter Show this week. We must be fucking mad doing this twice in 1 week. However, scheduling meant that we get a second mark on this week.
Week of the marks.
Yeah, the week of marks. So, Mark from 6mm Slingers is here. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening.
So, just before we go into the nitty-gritty of it, let's just have a little brief introduction. Who you are, your airsoft story, etc., etc.
Well, what can I say? I've been playing nearly 10 years. Just a London Ghost member. That's about it, really. Then I decided to do this really stressful charity thing.
So, yeah, that's nice and short and sweet.
Uh,
It's a bit of a difference because on Monday we had Mark go on for ages and ages and ages about how he worked with Red Wolf and all that, and then I was like, "Oh, okay."
well, it's I started as a player. I became a marshal for UCAP, and then I met the London Ghosts, etc. And then that story is way too long for here.
Yeah.
And then then I just decided I needed a challenge, so I set up 6mm Slingers.
Fair enough. Well, that brings us nicely into 6mm Slingers itself. So, first off, what is 6mm Slingers for those who don't know you?
6mm Slingers is a event organisation. So I will put on battle sims, game days, and some are to raise money for charity. Some are also just to raise money so I can put on bigger and better battle sims the next time. So, and I sell patches, which most people, I think that's getting quite popular now, which is the Fuck Cancer patch.
Yeah. We've got the versions of that ourselves.
Yeah, we
Should
got
have got
both
out really
versions.
to show you, but
There is more coming. There is more coming.
Cool. Everyone likes a patch.
love a patch.
Love a patch.
You can't go wrong. It says it's short and sweet, and it says it's straight to the point.
No, exactly.
Absolutely.
And always a good cause. Always a good cause. So, you've come on mainly because you've got an event coming up in the very near future. So,
March the 15th to the 17th at Gloucester Prison, which is going to be really epic. Just sadly that there's 3 people I can mention that's not coming.
yeah, we know who they are.
No.
Sorry.
But no, it's fine because it's to make up for it. There's another 5 events happening.
Yeah. It all depends on whether or not I'm allowed to play at any of them
We will
this
do our
year.
best to be.
Yeah, somebody's inconsiderate and getting married this year.
Yeah, I will send Adam and Ailey on my behalf for the
Yeah,
show.
we will be. What's the word?
Chess.
Well, wait, you could do your honeymoon at one of my events, couldn't you? There you go.
Yeah,
2
Jenny, I
birds,
really love it.
Yeah,
2 birds, 1 stone.
I'm sure
You don't
she'd
need
prefer
to
that to.
surprise.
I'm sure she'd prefer that to Tanzania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see me getting away with that one, unfortunately.
No, probably not.
But no, it's like I said, it's pretty much this year. It's looking to be 6 events if it all goes to plan, and then maybe next year it could be 8 events, 10 events.
So your next one's going to be at UCAP Gloucester Prison. I forget the name of which one's which.
Vendetta.
Is it Vendetta, that one? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I just
better, isn't it?
I just thought it was. Well, actually, no. I'm not going to voice my thoughts on here in case someone's listening and I get banned from another site before I've even gone there again. I don't want another first and only incident happening.
No.
Yeah, walk through the gate and then straight out the back door. Bye.
Yeah.
So, what made you choose Gloucester Prison for the first one?
Well, it's my launch event, but I heard so much stuff about it. But even though I'm a UCAP marshal and I do the green ops and the bunker, I've never been to Gloucester, and I just thought, do you know what? Let's do my launch event at Gloucester.
Fair play.
Why not?
And I was hearing great things. So when you go on Facebook, onto like UCAP's Facebook page, and every weekend that Gloucester's on, everyone says what a great day they've had. So
we keep meaning to get there.
Yeah,
For
it's on the
just
list.
for a normal game day as well. It's on our long list of sites to try in 2024.
Yeah, Brad keeps pestering us as well because he literally is on his doorstep for him, so he wouldn't have to
And
travel.
we were going to go when they're going, and then it doesn't.
Well, this is what I mean. It's like the word on the street. You know, I've been talking to people that are travelling 7 hours just to come to my event.
Jesus.
Fair play.
So you know, and it's because it's like they've heard such great things about Gloucester Prison. It's like we want now you're holding an event there, which that was the other reason why I decided to do a 2-day event, because for some people it is quite a fair journey to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, what more excitement can you have than let's sleep in a prison overnight?
Yeah.
This is it.
Could even do a little ghost tour.
Well, it's meant to be haunted as well, so.
Oh, there we go. Bring your what is it? Your EMGs or whatever they're called. That's not the right thing. Is it?
What are you going on about?
What are you on
The
about?
little ghosty beepy things.
A PK meter.
That's probably it. Yeah.
Like Ghostbusters.
You're talking to literal like the Ghostbusters nerd about ghosty things here. Eh?
Yeah, the things like the beeps when there's a ghost.
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
PK meter.
Ailey, you do realise you're dating him, right? And you should know the things that he likes.
Well, I don't even know what I talk about half the time.
No, we don't either. It's fine.
Thanks.
Yeah, like I'm not a Ghostbusters fan at all.
No, I didn't tell you to be Ghostbusters.
No.
Oh, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know it. Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Gloucester Prison. Those who haven't played, well, it's a prison. I was there for one of the, if not the very first game. It's a great site. It's just obviously at the time they were finding their feet with the site a bit and finding what worked and what didn't. So it was sort of like it was a bit of a mixed day, to say the least. It's also the day that Craig Shaw started his documentary series about me, where he just takes random photos of me doing shit at game days. That was the very first one. So this event then, this isn't a charity game; it's a battle sim event rather than a charity game for this one.
It's a battle sim, but it is for charity.
Oh, it is for charity. Okay,
yeah,
so which charity do we?
It was basically, I was looking at things and I thought to myself, you know, there's a lot more females getting involved into airsoft. So what used to be, you know, for me, when I first started playing till now, the vast amount of females that have joined the sport, it's growing and growing and growing. So I thought, you know, I did my first event at Green Ops for charity because, you know, which was for Macmillan and stuff like that, because I'd lost my stepdad literally the month before. And so that's what really kicked it all off. But then I just thought, well, let's do breast cancer. And for the women, you know, let's do something for them.
Yeah. It's over the years we've had events for, I think Adam was there for this one, the prostate cancer event that they did at the jail a while ago, that charity game. And then there's always been sort of like the male orientated charities, so it's nice to see sort of the females getting a bit of a representation with regards to a charity event this time.
Well,
yeah, definitely, because the UCAL one was cancer research. When we've done stigma in the past as part of the Man Down group, we had Young Minds as our one last time. So, like Landy says, it's nice that you've gone with the females and gone with the breast cancer charity. That's really good.
Well, it's with the cancer side, it's just like I'm going through the coloured ribbons, and you know, it's. But I'm not just about cancer. I will be doing other charities to do with you know, combat stress, stuff like that, because you know our military suffer really bad, and
how do you choose sort of what charities are going to support? You just think of something that's like close to your heart and sort of go with that?
Yeah,
or
that's partly it. It's sort of I look at things. I do a lot of research behind the scenes of there are so many charities out there, but when you look into them,
Yeah.
so many of them actually have like board of directors, and that's what swallows the money.
Yeah.
So you like just for conversational purposes, you do a 100-mile walk and you raise 10 grand and you hand it over, but then what's your 10 grand actually doing?
Yeah, they might only get £1,000 of that because the
Yeah.
rest goes elsewhere.
So it does. I do think if you're going to do charity stuff, it does pay to do your due diligence and look into things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially with stories that have been around recently with regards to a certain charity that paid for, was it a swimming pool they built or something in their garden?
Oh, yes.
I know the one you mean. The one that the daughter said to her dad, "Keep walking. I need a swimming pool."
Yeah.
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 Which is, I think I saw in the news, was it earlier today or earlier this week? They're ripping it down because.
Yeah, but
good.
Like talking about that,
legit, so yeah.
Didn't he raise 35 million for the national health?
Yeah, during COVID.
But that 35 million is still sitting in a bank account. It didn't actually go to the national health.
Yeah, so it's
and then
but this sort of goes back to the point. You're choosing charities where you know where that money's going to be spent.
Yeah,
and you know it's not going to just sit in a bank account for someone's own personal gain at the end of the day.
it's going towards
get nice and political on the Chairsofter Show. Who'd have thought it? But these things need speaking about as well because it is relevant.
Well, this is
also at the moment, cancer's quite well, I know it's always been a prevalent thing, but it highlights it when you've got like the recent video of Ollie, where
the
unfortunate news from him.
I'm not going to take anything away from that guy, but that hits really at home to me
100%.
because literally last year I watched my stepdad be told that he had 12 weeks to live, and then just watched him slowly become half the man that he was. He lost so much weight in a very short period of time, and when you sort of like. He went through the process of having a bone marrow biopsy and then by the time they tell you that, oh, by the way, you've got this amount of time to live.
This is it. It doesn't discriminate either. It could be literally any of us. And like, if anybody's seen Ollie's video on Ollie Talks Airsoft on
it really does.
YouTube, his symptoms he was feeling tired.
Yeah.
That was his symptoms, and you think, bloody hell,
well,
and you wouldn't go to the doctors for that.
No, that's exactly how my stepdad was. It was literally like if he was here now, we could be talking and he'd just suddenly nod off, just randomly.
Yeah.
And there was even times when he did it like mid conversation, so he was speaking, and then suddenly you just like look at him and he's like, just completely nodded off. And then
but this is
in the
thing
end,
as well. Sorry.
No, carry on.
No, I was going to say, this is the thing as well. It's sort of like, it could be any tiny little symptom, It's always better if you're suspicious of anything to go get it checked.
If you look at it in this perspective, everyone knows their own bodies better than anybody else.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you feel there's something slightly off, just keep going to your doctor. And if they keep saying there's nothing wrong, just keep going back.
Opinion,
just keep going back.
It's
100%.
I'm going to be honest because we're being open and honest. I did actually have a scare recently where I had quite a significant amount of pain in a certain area, shall we say. I'm trying to keep it fairly PC for the show. But it was like, I thought, no, I can't, because it went on for a couple of weeks. It was sort of like, it'd come and go, just this dull pain. And I thought, no, this ain't normal. So I'd rather go get it checked out.
100%.
I'd rather have someone check me out than ignore it and it become to the point where it can't be dealt with. It's always better to try and catch these things early. So it's
100%.
like even if I mean we've got a couple of people watching at the moment. Even if one of those guys sort of said like something's not right, I'm actually going to go and get that checked out as a result of this show as well. Yeah. Then we've done our job as well by raising that little bit of awareness to.
And who doesn't love a finger up the bum?
Well, this is it. You can have that you can go to your doctor for that and actually not have to buy a drink.
I know.
Free of
What was it?
charge.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think there's such a big stigma about, it's across the board, from men's mental health.
Mm.
Like the easiest way I can explain, like my stepdad, he was a man's man, and my mum wasn't very well, so he put his problems to one side to look after my mum.
Yeah.
And then,
I think a lot of men of a certain age as well are very, oh no, I won't do that. They just sort of try and get on with it. And then by the time anything is discovered, it's too late.
With the way you can't get a GP, it's not as easy to get a GP's appointment these days, especially in person.
Yeah.
So, do you think potentially that's half the reason as well that people don't bother anymore? Like, it's just because
Probably because it'd be like, oh, it's 3 weeks till I can get in at my doctor's, and
the thing is as well, if you're that worried about it, phone 111, because that's exactly what I did in the morning. Because my surgery wasn't open, I thought, no, I'll phone 111, see what they recommend. And they said, so you can go to the walk-in centre at this hospital, or you can go to your local GP and get an appointment. We'll book an appointment with them. Which would you prefer?
I think the other thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Then I think the other issue that we actually have is like it's all in the news about the national health is at breaking point, and there's going to be people sitting at home thinking, well, I don't want to burden them because it could be nothing.
The thing is as well, though, this time of year it's always going to be busy anyway. Like it's just a natural thing. It just exacerbates an issue at the end of the day because it's the winter, but they're still sort of in recovery from COVID and all that. Because let's be honest, how many people didn't get the treatment that could have potentially saved them because of COVID as well?
Well, yeah, that's it. The problem is there is going to be a point where you might as well just face facts that the national health is dying, and it's dying very quickly.
Yeah, it is a shame.
But that's why when experiencing what I did, it's like I sat there on my own and I thought, what can I do? There's people that like. We had Macmillan come in, and these nurses, they do such a fantastic job, but they don't get the recognition that they deserve.
I have to say as well, because we had just before COVID, there's a couple of guys I work with got diagnosed. One, unfortunately, no longer with us. One fought through it, and they both told, when I saw both of them just before just before COVID, was the last time I saw the guy that sadly passed away. He said, they both said actually, what an amazing job Macmillan did. They said they were so good for them just to help them out. And it's all these things because the NHS is under such pressure and is so stretched. It's just that extra little bit of help for them as well.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit easier for them. Because let's be honest, even as family, it's traumatic enough hearing that diagnosis for us. How's it going to be for them?
Emerson brings up a point. Don't know if you want to highlight that, Andy.
Just in the meantime, I don't know a single person these days that hasn't been affected or knows someone that's been affected by cancer because it's just that.
Yeah, everybody knows somebody, don't they?
So Silky's come in and said, prime example, after talking to a certain person here, I didn't know a certain thing even existed, nothing serious, but wasn't even aware it was a thing.
I think this just encourages people to, you've got friends, speak to them. Like, if you're worried about something, a problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. But
yeah, it sounds corny, but it's true.
Yeah.
But I think, that's right. I think sometimes just like having somebody to talk to is enough. Yeah. Just the fact that you've spoken about it.
Exactly.
I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll take a look.
we were doing so good at him having a nice.
Come on, he got some smiles. He got some smiles.
We were having like a serious conversation. And
no, to be fair, but this is the thing though. He has injected that little bit because this is quite a hard hitting subject.
It is 100%.
And as Ailey said, it's going to be something that affects everyone. Everyone listening to this episode has probably knows someone or has been directly affected by cancer in this instance. And Christ, I could probably name off 12, 13 people off the top of my head that I've known over the years. It was something that even affected us in year 8. We had a lad at school that got diagnosed with a form of cancer. And that was what, year 8, so you're about 12, 13. Imagine having that. It's hard at any age,
let
alone at that age, where you just sort of fit in.
I had a form of childhood cancer, and that was, I can't have been older than 7, 8, something like that. So they must have been about the same, and it was, It
was like when I was in the hospital with my stepdad, when we got the diagnosis of him having myeloid leukemia. Which is blood cancer.
Yeah.
And, it's like, what'd you say? I just went completely numb and just stood there blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very a lot to process in the moment, isn't it? You don't fully process it until probably years later, decades even. It doesn't fully
I think
in.
it's like a lot of things, like, the news is quite depressing most of the time. But then you get into that stigma of like, it's fine, it would never happen to me. It's always somebody else. It's always somebody else. But I trust me, one day it will be you or somebody close to you.
It's always someone else until it isn't at the end of the day.
Which sort of brings us back around to Ollie and his recent news. And I think, well, that's somebody within the airsoft community. So that makes what you're doing even more poignant, if that's the word.
Well, yeah, because there is a Steve Big Builds.
Yes,
just bringing charity game to raise money.
I was totally gobsmacked to see that Instagram took his thing down.
Yeah,
Big Steve Builds. Yeah,
but you've also got people on TikTok that have basically said that it's making out like it's Ollie, and they've put a GoFundMe and they're trying to sort of scam people out of money. And Ollie's posted on YouTube recently since his video, and basically saying, this isn't me, my only platform is YouTube, like, don't give money to this GoFundMe sort of thing. So if there's any sort of info we can give as a show, if you see anything Ollie related other than on YouTube, it's not him.
It's disgusting in one respect, though.
Like that,
it's horrible. It's despicable.
Yeah.
He's going through enough as it is. He's still trying to process it himself.
100%, yeah.
And then you get, like, his friends are saying, like, this is happening, and it's like, really?
Yeah. The trouble is, though, it's one of those things. There's always going to be someone trying to profiteer off of these sorts of events.
It's like, for me, I set up 6mm slingers, and it was just sort of like, we all have such a good laugh playing airsoft, and and I just thought, well, what easier way than combining the two?
Yeah, why not do it for a good cause? You're going to do it anyway.
If I can,
help some charities out at the same time.
Yeah, what I do hope to do, I will do a tour. I am going to do, as many sites as I can around the UK.
Definitely, it's one of those things, and like I said earlier, if we could get the word out and even just help one person at the end of the day by spreading that word.
But I do want to clear something up, though.
Yep.
That 6mm Slingers isn't a charity itself. I am a organisation that raises money for charity. I'm not a charity itself, which I'm actually self-funded. I don't have any sponsors. There's nobody behind the scenes that's giving me pots and pots and pots of cash. It's all being done by me. So there will be an event. I'll be. I'm honest. If you ask me, I will show you everything, from every invoice, everything. I want to be completely transparent. There's no hidden agenda. There will be events that aren't for charity, but this is just purely the fact of building my cash flow to do other events.
Yeah. And obviously, you'll be clear about when it is for charity and when it isn't for charity. It's going to be a very clear divide between the two. So.
I can honestly say on here now my launch event has set me back $7,000. So it's certainly it's like when people started kicking off about NAF and the price increases and that.
Yeah.
I do understand.
Topic of conversation.
Yeah.
But no, I understand where a lot of people are coming from. But then you also have to look at the other side of the coin. I didn't know until I got into organising my own events exactly what sort of costs are involved.
I'm sure there's a lot of like hidden costs that we don't see.
Yeah, I mean, as we sort of said,
consumers, whichever. Yeah.
As we sort of said at the time, you can understand price increases to a certain extent. While we're on the topic of NAF briefly,
but explain it.
Or be open about it. Don't sort of go, oh well, what was it? Basically, the meme that went round of H from Ground Zero just saying, "Don't be poor." Basically, in the email.
Well, they basically, rather than just address it and say, X, Y, Z, this is why we've had to increase our game fees because this is, this has increased, our insurance has increased. They've just sort of glossed over it and just ignored every negative comment and gone, oh yeah, can't wait to see you. Oh yeah, can't wait to see you. No, just
all we want is transparency.
We know there's been a lot of negative comments about this as to our increase, and this is why we're increasing. And I think a load more people would be like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. We'll book on, we'll go. Why not?
I think it's especially as less seems to be on offer this year.
Yeah, I think
declining.
I've been 7 times.
Bit of a veteran at it then.
I was going to say you and the ghosts have been.
Well, the ghosts have been. I kid you not, they have been from the first ever NAF, and when it was called like the NAE and all that sort of stuff, and things have changed. I do feel some of the rules that they brought in last year, it was a completely different atmosphere last year. With you can't sell anything at your campsite, blah blah blah.
And then some people just did anyway.
Yeah. Well, from my personal opinion, that part of it was more social. It got people to leave their campsites and walk around, and actually, I've met people through NAF.
Bargain hunting, so.
I don't think it helped though that they decided to put the second-hand sales up in the festering pit of shite around the back of the Portaloos.
Yeah, it was almost like an afterthought. That's how it looked to us as first time. Me and Ailey have never been to NAF, so the last one was our first ever experience. And even as a first time player, it was like, oh, the second-hand bit's a bit sort of feels like a bit of an afterthought, or they're just shoved off to the back sort of thing. And that's without knowing how it used to work, or, people sold their own stuff at their own tents, etc., etc. So,
no, I do think, I'm not trying to defend NAF or anything like that, but I do feel sorry for them from a point when some things, as an event organizer myself, there are things that happen out of your control, and to keep being slated for it, it's like, well, because I saw the other day that someone brought up on a WhatsApp group about paying extra money to have the toilets. There was one year that the toilets didn't get cleaned at all until Sunday, and when you actually speak to the organisers of NAF, and what was the issue? Well, the issue was there was a massive festival in Portsmouth on the same time, and the cleaning people that are in charge of the Portaloos and all that were at NAF were taken away to go and help at this other festival, which meant we had nobody on site at NAF. So, from that side of it, I felt sorry for them because it was something out of their control.
Yeah, you can understand that.
And it's like people keep bringing it up, and it's like, look, yes, it happened, but at the end of the day,
come on.
I mean, I thought the toilet situation when we went, I thought it was bang on. Every time we walked to and from, they were doing whatever, sucking it out or whatever they do with them. But I never went into one and thought, oh my God, I'm not using that. And I'm really fussy about toilets.
You should have been the year before then. It was horrendous. Find the one that hasn't got. Yeah,
I think I would have pooped in a bag if that was the case.
It's good enough. Everyone's on about being a super elite operator.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad 2 years ago. That was horrific. But it's there's things I'm learning. It's there's a whole stressful minefield when you start looking into. We can all sit here and type on the screen and and slate someone, but when you're actually when you reverse the role and you're actually that person that's trying to put an event on, and you've got to go through fire assessments, health and safety assessments, inclusion assessments,
insurance, all of that.
Jump through.
Insurance is astronomical. As soon as you mention the fact that what's your event, airsoft? What's that? I've never heard of it.
You're throwing fireworks at each other.
Yeah, you're throwing. I'm throwing lit fireworks, or I'm pointing a gun that fires a BB at someone, and they go, "Oh right, oh okay, right. So you want this event? Blah blah blah. Okay, your insurance is £1,000. It's what, just for one event? Yep. It's shocking.
I can imagine. Which is why you can understand sort of like the fact that, especially sort of like as we were coming out of COVID, I can imagine insurance costs probably went up as well at that time, as we were trying to get people back going again. So you can sort of understand why sites have had to price increase and all that. It's like, because the insurance is going to go up. You're going to have to, and especially this day and age as well, where food costs more, power costs more, if you're those sorts of sites. And
like some sites didn't even make it through COVID, so we should be grateful for what we've got.
Exactly.
Even if you're a site in the middle of nowhere and you've got to run a generator, that's still fuel.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's all these. I think sometimes we get a bit. I've done it. I've slated a few sites and stuff like that, and I think we just get complacent. You just don't. you just. Sometimes I think you need to take a step back.
Yeah.
And actually look at the bigger picture. It's, like NAF is the biggest event in Europe. So, and then people start saying, "Oh, they're just after your money," blah blah blah. Well, they're not doing it for the love of it. It's they're trying to put on an entertaining weekend, but also make money at the same time. It's like that's the whole reason why.
It's understandable, but I think the biggest thing for a lot of people was, I think if you're gonna increase your prices, have the bollocks to say why.
Yeah, ultimately. I think all people want at the end of the day is transparency as to why. And I think if they put that out there and just said because of X, Y, and Z, or so, a lot of people would be more willing to accept it and go, "Yeah, all right, that's fair enough. I'll come along." But the fact that they've just put it up without any sort of heads up explanation, anything like that.
I know. Did you see the follow-up message that went out, where they received such a backlash in like a whole week of being slated and everything like that, and then they put a statement out. And I think if you read between the lines of the statement,
replied to an email that somebody had sent, and it was quite a
it
just basically like before.
Yeah, no, but in all fairness,
going to rub people up the wrong way, isn't it? If they'd have just turned around and said, "Look, I can understand why people might be annoyed that the prices have increased, but this is why. This has increased. This has increased. The company that supplies the toilets have added on an extra however much." Then people would go, "Okay, yeah, I understand why they've done it now." And there's a lot of people that I know, like I'm one of them. I think, well, I don't want to pay more because what extra am I getting?
I think it's some people. it was like when I saw the thing that came back, it was a bit basically reading between the lines of if you don't like it, don't come.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, fair enough. But
if we'd have explained it, people would be like, "Oh yeah, okay, I can see why your prices have increased. I'll still come." But there's a lot of people that are like, "No, that's it. I'm not coming now."
I'd just like to say, by the way, going back to the whole point about slating airsoft sites and that, I definitely don't have any idea what you're talking about whatsoever.
I don't know what to reply to that at this point.
The intrusive thought one there. I thought, do you know what?
Hashtag not sponsored by Level 2.
Yeah, hashtag definitely not sponsored by Level 2.
Would you like to go into the story of this?
What, the whole story of First and Only, and how we had a really shit day, and
gave like
basically the headmaster was probably still pissed up, and we gave them a nice extensive list of all of the issues that happened during that day, and they banned us. That story, and then accused us of working for Level 2.
Oh right,
that story.
You don't have to. I was just like, you know.
No, that was literally the long and the short of it. We had to do an entire episode of it to explain everything that had happened. It was that much of a fucking shit show.
Episode 128.5, if anybody would like to go back and look for it.
Yeah.
If you want to hear some really spicy...
a whole episode, but yeah, the short story is we went to a site, Anzio, had a pretty shit day, we gave constructive criticism in the way of reviews. You know, we weren't like, oh, this is a crap site, never going back here. We actually said our day wasn't good and this is why and this is what you could do better. And pretty much half of us that gave reviews, mainly because I don't think they realised that we were on the show. The ones that were on the show got banned as a result, so can never go back to Anzio again.
Not that we'd want to.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. The fucking psychopath who's in charge of them basically said that Keith, who was on the show at the time, but basically he knew the bloke who owns First and Only, like on, I'd say, a personal level. They were friends, but according to Keith, they're not.
I think
basically he said, "Oh, you should have come to me," and like he turned around to me and said, "Oh, you should have come to me and spoken about it." No, why would I hide it and bury it? Go in public. You've got to fucking deal with it now. But his way of dealing with it is just go, "Oh, by the way, yeah, you're banned and you can't come."
Bury his head under the sand and ban people that dare to leave anything other than a 5-star review. So
one of the many reasons we had a bad day was when your head marshal briefs the game day by saying, I can't deal with this because I'm too hungover.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the premise of the whole day.
Quote, I'm hungover as fuck, so I'm relying on my marshals for the day.
Yeah.
Go back
to the caravan.
If you organise an event there, I definitely can't go, Mark. Going back to 6mm Slingers because I've had my 5 minutes of fun.
Where is it?
First and Only site.
It's
any First and Only sites.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
no, see, the sites that I use are the sites that get good feedback.
Level 2, hashtag not sponsored.
Kerry is clearly very late to the party, so I will have to catch you up on the actual review.
Kerry, you need to watch the episode.
Yeah, go back.
128.5.
That's it. Watch that episode and you'll get the gist of what went on that day.
In fact, if we get back on topic, Adam and Ailey, I'll go and find the
video.
Link. I'll drop a link to get back in the comments, and people can go back and watch it after this episode.
Yeah, no, it's I think site owners and that should be open. So if you go there and you play, like when I went to Ironside for the first time, and then I've become really good friends with the Marshall team, and
love Ironside.
You know, they are a cracking bunch of lads, and they do their absolute best to give you the best day of your day. You know,
and Andy, you need to come to Ironside with us.
I do need to get to.
We do need to
Ironside
get back
with you
there
at
at some point this year.
100%.
You
At
need
least
to
a couple
come.
of times. It's great.
You two need to come to Green Ops.
We do.
Where's
We do.
Is that a woodland though?
And
Oh,
oh no, hang on. It's Woodland meets CQB because it's very. It's got
Alright,
a tight net.
we can
okay. We can stretch. We'll stretch to that.
I'll give anything a go once, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Just found the link.
So in terms of upcoming things, what are your plans? I know you've already said you've got some more events planned for next year. Are you planning
there
to
anything
continue
that you
this
can
indefinitely?
divulge?
There's nothing I can
Anything?
actually say in this moment apart from the March event. You know, I like to keep stuff spontaneous. You know, it's a
Put
bit
your
like
cards
oh,
close to your chest.
I do have an announcement though.
Oh.
I have
Is
an
this a
announcement.
Chairsofter Show exclusive?
I'm gonna have to get that fucking. I'm gonna have to get like a fucking sound effect plugged in so we can literally do that.
Yeah.
Like a drum roll or something.
You know, a lot of people. When I first started last year, I was in partnership with Studio 13, but sadly, Tom has decided to pull the plug and he killed it. So I have a new partnership.
Oh.
And my partnership is with Dan Airsoft and Hasmin.
Oh.
Ah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what comes
So
out of that.
We've
Obviously,
had
they're
some
great,
amazing photos taken
yeah.
by Dan.
In the past, yeah, absolutely.
It was
Yeah,
Ironside, wasn't it? Yeah.
You know,
I think some of the photos I used in our promo for this show were from Dan himself. So he's awesome.
I believe they were.
Like I remember standing in one of the bunkers and had him with the light. Like, oh yeah, that looks really cool. Like taking photos. And I'm like, would you fuck off? I'm trying to kill people here. But the shot he got at the end was
great
absolutely
people, though,
amazing. Yeah, it was awesome.
That is the only downside to the bunker. You know, it's a good if you like, you know, CQB in the dark, etc. But for Dan, I take it.
No, I mean
take my
about
hat off to
the one of the mushroom tunnels at Ironside.
Yes,
Like the really dark bits. We were in one of them, and he's like shining this light at me, and I'm like, "Will you fuck off? You like giving my position away?" Like
Yeah,
I was
but
naming people in the corridor, and he's there with his light. But
it's the same.
pictures he got.
It was the same principle. If you came to UCAT bunker, it's like he does a fantastic job, but it's like bing, up goes the light, and it's like thanks. Now everyone can see me.
But it's worth the shot. It's worth it for the gram.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like,
very much.
are just incredible.
But
So,
no,
yeah, Andy, you need to get
pretty
yourself
much
down
most
there.
of the images I used on the promo for this show, I think, were Dan's photos anyway.
I think the only one you didn't use from Dan was the one that I had taken at Warzone last year. That was because I've not actually been anywhere where Dan is yet.
Yeah.
The ones of me.
Missing out, Andy.
I tried to get shots with the foot cancer patch because it was in keeping with.
I think my promo shot was actually from Samwise, but I have had great photos from Dan in the past.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, the one.
We do need to get down
There
there.
was one picture of me that you put up was actually Studio 13 took that. But
all right, whatever
now. It doesn't matter.
It just gives us an excuse to go and get some photos.
He takes sick pictures. You've still got a free day to use with him as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I just said that. So we do need to get back down south at some point.
Shut up.
Yeah, not like you were last weekend.
Continuing on with the Dan announcement, he will be covering. Or he did say he will do his absolute best to cover my charity events.
Nice one, Dan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, all. I was hoping with the battle sim that he could run around and film it while he was taking pictures at the same time.
That'd be cool. That'd be something a bit different.
You know, so while he's still taking pictures, you know, he's got a GoPro on his chest.
We're in a GoPro or something.
Because, you know, I will say some stuff about my event, but I'm not going to spoil the whole event.
Oh, no, absolutely. You need to keep.
You gotta.
But no, there are rules. I'm bringing. There is very strict rules being put in place, and you know, I will state but I probably won't get anybody come now. But anyway, that there is a strictly no drug policy. If anybody is caught smoking weed, either if there's weed smell,
I think that's a given. There is
I'm
no
all for
excuse
that.
for it, especially when people are putting on an event for you to go and have fun, and then an individual could ruin that for everyone. It's just not
disrespectful
on,
as
is
well.
it?
Don't get me wrong. I don't judge people. If you want to smoke weed, fine. You go and smoke weed, but just don't do it near me. It's
if you can't go as Justin says at the jail, if you can't go a day of airsoft without having a do,
you need to go and seek
help. You need to get fucking help.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically what we've stated, because my event is on a UCAP site, so it is under UCAP rules. And we basically had a discussion about it, and I came up with, well, if you want to pay £120 to either get shit-faced or stoned, you're not playing airsoft. And I will reject you.
You're not there for the right reason.
Well, I'd imagine a lot of insurance policies would
you invalidate
that in the text.
You will invalidate my insurance.
Yeah.
So, and if somebody actually gets injured because of you, that's. So I've come up. The thing is,
well, like Red Jester said on YouTube,
he said that he thought
that's given in a sport that's just for safe. Yeah, sorry.
You'd be surprised. There are some sites that will say it. They're not the better sites, but there have been some sites that will say it and then don't necessarily enforce it.
Well, I've enforced it because when my booking is open, which is coming in the next
couple of weeks, hopefully.
Big tumbleweed goes past the screen.
As soon as the tickets are out, by the way, everyone, we will promote them on our page as well as
on our socials.
Mark will push them, but we'll put them on.
That's the least I can do, seeing as he's already called us out for not being around for it.
Yeah.
I didn't mention anybody's name. I just said there was 3 people that weren't attending,
which just so happened to be these 3.
But no, so what I've enforced. So when you go onto my booking system, there is a bit where you will have to read. Yes, we all love reading, but then you have to tick a box, and then you tick that box because you can't go any further without ticking this box.
Bit that everybody scrolls straight to the bottom and just clicks the box anyway. But
yeah, the thing is, if you don't read it, then fair enough, that's your choice. But
by ticking that box, you have accepted.
You've accepted my term.
But equally, don't moan when we send you home because you start smoking weed.
Well, the thing is, the bit that I'm going to get to now is if your car is in the middle of my car park, you're going away until Sunday 4:00 to come back for your car. I'm not going to stop my event to move 20 cars out of the way to get you.
Yeah.
So you can get your car. So,
that's fair.
like I said,
because it would
you check that box.
All the other players to have to allow that one person to leave.
No, it's right. It's, I'm not a naff.
It's fuck around and find out, isn't it?
It's at the end of the day, I'm not a naff. So,
yeah. It's all right. Certain people at NAF would have just stolen a tent and run your stuff over anyway.
Did you actually hear that somebody's car got nicked?
I heard that story.
I heard it, but I don't know how true it was.
It could be about as true as the stories that a certain
sniper was there.
It's Airsoft celebrity was there that happens every year, and he never turns up. But we don't mention that name on here. It's like,
I know who you're on about, Stomping Pony.
No, I couldn't possibly confirm nor deny. Simply because you know what this individual's like.
Yeah.
No comment. Moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on before this individual decides to do stupid clips
we don't have
out
any
of context.
Money, so
yeah, can't sue me. I've got no money.
I haven't got any money. All my money went into an event.
But yeah,
so potentially going back to the original part of our conversation, I'm
getting back on topic, you know.
No, I should hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything goes to plan, there should be 6 events by Christmas.
It'll be good to see. It'll be good to see, definitely.
And we will try our very best to attend most of them.
Yes.
At least one. At least one.
Yeah.
I'll let you
I was
have
going to say,
one.
if I make one this year, I've succeeded in this year because
you know, and we if it's a weekend event, it'd be lovely to try and do some kind of, even if it's a pre-recorded show, you know, do some kind of a show from that event.
A bit like we did with ASG the other week.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Kerry saying that she'll try and make one at least as well. However, she does live in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Oh no, she's got no excuses. She's coming to the one in March. No excuses.
No, the way she's been with our private game, she'll probably sell about 25 tickets for you.
Yeah, I was going to say she's single-handedly got rid of most of our tickets for our private game.
She's been responsible for at least a quarter of sales of our the response back.
They also on my
I messaged her on Insta like, "Oh, have you got booked a ticket for yourself?" And she's not replied. Miserable. She booked everybody else on.
But there is still one left.
One ticket left for our private
game.
One left, and then that is it.
And wants to come to our private game. If we can sell that within the next 8 minutes, I'll buy you a beer.
I'd buy if you were coming to buy it
first. Yeah, you've heard it here first.
We'll all buy you a beer.
After the game, though.
Or at least like a Lucasade Sport from Charlotte at the.
Oh, we could get you a slushie. I'm sure we could find a slushie somewhere.
We'll buy you some ice cream or something. We'll sort you out. Last player. If you've got the last ticket, message us and we'll do something nice.
Message us with proof and we will sort you out.
He would, but we're all down south. Road trip.
This is not south. Jail is not south. Can I just say that? Like, this is Midlands. Let me tell you.
I was going to say,
we are not north. We are not south.
Have you played the jail before?
Many.
No, I've never played.
No.
Bullshit.
It's not like it's my.
I've been playing since
I definitely don't have
jail opened.
I definitely don't have site membership and go there at least once a month.
I know, because as we were saying earlier on, it's like I am looking for other sites. You know, my events.
Put it this way: I assisted in unaliving one of the jail's marshals.
That's
a whole other story now.
That's a whole other episode.
Hang on, I don't think you mean unaliving. I've just realised what you said. You mean realiving.
Realiving, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. You didn't unalive anybody. Can we just make that clear?
Yeah.
So the other part of 6 mil slingers is the fact that I want to hold events at other sites to give them advertisement as well as us having a good time and making money for whatever. And that's part.
Yeah, it's everybody sort of looking out there, after each other. Like
Mark and 6 mil slingers to possibly hold an event at your site, please reach out. I'm sure he would appreciate anything.
Contact me on Instagram, whatever.
Yeah, and we'll put the link out. Well, actually, if you look on the Instagram posts, then you'll see the link to the profile anyway. Just follow that and then get in touch with him.
Absolutely.
It's that's what I think. It's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah. No, exactly, and this is it. And as we said earlier, when we were having the more serious part of the show at the start, it's all got a bit sort of carried away. But when we had the serious part of the show, it was
My God, there's a name. Sorry, Andy. There's a name I haven't seen for how long? Jade.
Re-emerging onto. Hang on, guys. Can I just say, by the way, I think we may have actually genuinely sold.
I was literally just checking. Whoever the lucky last player is, send us a message on any of our accounts. We will confirm that and get you something special.
I can confirm whether or not it was you as well, because I will just message the owner of the
site.
Yeah, please, if you're watching, send us a message immediately. We'll give you a massive shout out. And
I hope they are, because it just seems very convenient that last ticket has gone after we mentioned it. I bet someone who's already going just bought the last ticket just because they want a free beer.
Yeah. Just for the giggles.
But yeah, no. With
we appreciate all of your effort.
So what was your maximum number for your event?
It's 80.
80
so
people.
80 altogether. A normal jail sort of game day
is 80 people. Really well with that amount. Any more and it'd be too much, but it's the right amount for the site, definitely.
Well, yeah, because that's another thing. It's like where we were talking about, events and stuff like that. It's like.
So I'd just like to say it is confirmed greyed out.
Yay! Well done, guys.
Woo!
So after my
fucking
aneurysm,
just a mild aneurysm, nothing serious.
Can I have a confirmation that I was right?
No.
Andy's like panicking, and I'm like, honestly, people will book in January. Trust me, it'll be fine.
Whose stupid fucking idea was it to go live with it on Christmas?
Yeah, at Christmas, like the longest month, like between Christmas and the end of January, it's like 180 days.
That was like when I did my when I done my first event at Green Ops. Originally, when I first advertised it, it was like weeks went by, and it was like, have I sold any tickets yet? But then I found out that the ticket company that I was using was adding like £6 on each ticket. And I'm like, hang on, this is like my first event, and the whole proceeds went to charity. Yeah. And it was like, hang on a minute, you're adding £6 on every ticket. No, so I cancelled it. But what I didn't know was that they then put out a little advertisement of their own saying that your event's cancelled. So then when I went on to the UCAP Facebook page and said, look, it's no longer a ticketed event, it's a walk-on, that some people didn't see that, because if you don't follow UCAP's Facebook page, you won't see it. And,
there's always going to be someone that you miss, isn't there? Like, no matter how many times you communicate it and where and how, there's always going to be that one person that says, I didn't know.
But, I got such great feedback from that day, even the fact of, like, just sitting there and thinking, I raised £4,000. Yeah, we raised £4,000 out of 80 people. It was just like...
That's good.
Yeah. Round of applause for you there. That's amazing.
Incredible, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when you think sort of like the first Stigma race, sort of like 7 with like 250 players or whatever, ridiculous amount it was, it's fucking amazing job, really. So,
when you sit at home and you sort of like look back and you think, wow, we did this. It wasn't just me. The London Ghost supported me on that event, and special thanks go out to UCAP because they donated the use of the site for free.
Yeah, and you should all be really proud of everything you've achieved there and everything you're going to achieve.
Oh yeah, because it's like
few years.
What some people may not know about 6 Mil Slingers, it's a one-man band, which is me.
Yeah.
There's some. Don't get me wrong. There is some people that's helped me and guided me with stuff that I have no idea what I'm doing with. And it's like, can somebody help me with this?
Support from any direction.
But this is what it's about. It's like, when you
and this sort of
it's like
people, doesn't it? So.
Well, yes, people will slate airsofters, right? And don't get me wrong, the community can be very toxic. But when something actually happens, like what's happening with Ollie, when you look at that situation, and everybody seems to, it all comes together.
Absolutely, and I think this is the point we're trying to make. That we're all at the end of the day, we're all out there to support each other and do good in the world of airsoft and help new people into the sport, and just have a good time.
We're all human beings at the end of the day, and we'll all support each other, whether there's drama going on in the airsoft scene or not. If the shit hits the fan, actually, it shows that we can all come together and we can all get a common goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Cool. Looking at the time, I think it's about time we called it a day. So we're looking forward to hearing about the first event. We'll let people know when tickets go live as well, especially
As
Kerry.
soon as they go live, we'll all share them on our socials.
Sadly, I couldn't sell it out. I only sold 97 tickets.
Oh, I'm sure.
Only.
Yeah,
those 3 people, god damn it.
There's 3 people
only.
The 3 people that just stopped me from putting up the post that said sold out.
Oh, don't make us feel bad.
I'll tell you what, cover me
We'll
transport.
make it
I'll be there.
up, we promise.
Promise.
No, there will be, like I said, that there's more and more stuff happening. It just takes time.
Absolutely. And as soon as those things are announced by you, we will help support it and share it in any way that we can.
You know, it's I have a day job as well as doing this.
This is it.
Red Jester brings up a good point.
Yeah. Toxicity is the loud minority. The majority are genuinely sound. And it's the loud minority.
Yeah.
Sums it up, doesn't it?
The loud minority that call you trolls, woke, everything. You know, all the different things that are used by generally sort of people that are more right wing on their political scale, shall we say? But that's another story for another day. So,
we get any questions?
I think
we didn't really.
I don't think we have
really had any questions. I think you've done such a good job of talking
just
about
been amazing.
See, that's the thing with me. I can talk for England.
Cool. So,
if you have trouble sleeping, just give us a ring.
Mark will help send you to sleep. It's fine.
Where can people find you on social media, Mark?
Sorry?
Where can people find you on social media? Should they want to follow or listen out for any events, etc.?
Buy those last 3 tickets.
Yeah. It's on Instagram at 6mil Slingers. You have to make sure they spell swingers correctly and not swingers. I've had
that.
Slingers with an L.
I've had people come up to me Iron Sight or Green Ops and say, "Oh, I'll add you on Instagram. What's your?" And then you tell them, and then you see them 2-3 weeks later and go, "I've had some strange stuff coming up looking for you," and it's like, "What are you putting in?" And it's like swingers. No, it's slingers.
I mean, if it's 6 mil, that ain't even going to touch the sides, is it?
But yeah, if you also want to find them, obviously our recent posts we've tagged Mark in all of them. So you can just go on to
there is a Facebook page, but it's not. It's a page. It's not an actual profile. But I'm still trying to work out how to use that.
So Instagram is your main thing that people.
Yeah, Instagram is the main.
Yeah. Cool.
But as time goes by, I will hopefully get a website up and running, and things will
be sure to share it.
Yeah, as I say, there's more patches, key rings, etc. to come.
Yeah, make sure you keep supporting, guys, because all the money is going towards good causes. So.
Yeah, my Ferrari.
Anyway, guys.
I'd just like to thank you guys for having me on.
No, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming to give us an exclusive and just being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Well, if you want me to come back after my event, you know where I am.
Yeah, we can always do a debrief show. Yeah.
And I can stir the pot even more of what an epic event you've missed.
Absolutely. We'll be back in touch, I'm sure.
And I'm sure I will see you on that site at some point.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, I need to get down to Iron Sight sometime as well, so we'll do that.
We'll drag him kicking and screaming if we have to.
Are you not doing the UK ladies at Green Ops on the 18th?
No, we can't make it.
No, we're busy, unfortunately, which is a shame.
Fair enough.
18th of what?
February.
No. I can't remember why, but there was actually a very good reason why I can't.
Is that dress rehearsal?
Oh, yeah, no, it's because I'm on my stag do. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm in Scotland.
I suppose that's a good reason.
But yeah, other than that, guys, you know where to find me, Adam and AD. So we'll see you guys
We'll catch you in 2 weeks' time.
next time on the Chairsofter Show. And like we said, if it was you that bought the last ticket, get in touch.
Yeah, please do get in touch.
Yeah,
if it was you.
yeah.
We'll sort you out.
You can find me, the Chairsofter Show on Facebook, Instagram, fucking Twitter.
You have to think about it for a second. Then you can find me at the Chairsofter Show.
Yeah,
Andy's not down with the kids. It's X these days.
Yeah,
and obviously our tags are.
It will always be
on our
Twitter.
little name tags or at GT_06.mini or Adam is.
At GT_02.Sierra Golf. I think I've had too many whiskies to read that out.
It's fine. Yeah. You know where to find us these days.
Yeah.
That's it from us. So we will see you next time. Take care of each other. Take hits and don't be a dick. Bye for now.